Awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of our back to school boot camp. Thank you very much for joining. Today, we're joined by Stephanie, our customer success onboarding expert. She is really a playground expert. So she's going to help you get set up with your enrollment as best as possible so you have a smooth start to the year. So without further ado, Stephanie, if you want to take us away and tell everyone how to get their enrollment set up.
Yes, awesome. Thank you, Benny. So like Benny said, I am Stephanie. I work on the onboarding team here at Playground, and we'll be walking through enrollment and best practices there today. I do see in the participants list, we have some current clients and I think a couple of maybe new ones. So we'll be going over how to set up a listing and how to manage an existing one. I have the chat open, so if anyone wants to drop questions in the chat, I'll just periodically check it. Awesome. So enrollment in Playground is referred to the process of collecting applications from families, so that you could just get new applicants, get the word out there about your school, collect those applications, and then accept the students and start their billing. Reasons why to set up enrollment through Playground is we like to say we're an all-in-one solution. So having those people apply, and then as you accept them, you could directly create their billing, collect their paperwork, set up their schedules. All of that could be fully integrated in Playground. And then what makes our enrollment unique? It allows for the parents to submit their payment methods, their paperwork, select what plans they want to apply for upfront. It's very customizable. We'll go through that right now, but you'll see that every single school's enrollment can be completely unique. And that is all created within Playground. And then as prospects fill out an application, they also create an account so that once you accept them, they're immediately a student in Playground. And you don't have to chase any parents to create accounts. So without further ado, I'm going to switch over to the Playground Demo School, and we'll be working on the Enrollment tab. Here it is. Awesome. So the enrollment listings have to be set up by an admin. So that's just a heads up here that you're definitely, if you have an enrollment specialist at your center, you're going to want to make sure that they have admin capabilities so that they can set this up for you and monitor the applications. Because I think a majority of the Zoom room is existing clients, I'm going to start off by showing you how we'll manage the applications. And then towards the end, we'll go over how to actually set up a listing. So in my demo school here under the enrollment tab, I have 3 listings. So a listing is a little box here on this page. The way that we get the word out or people to apply to these listings, there's a couple of methods, but each of these boxes or listings has a unique link that we create for you. So right here, I have the link to the Happy Hands full-time program. Right here, I have a link for enrollment, re-enrollment, and right here, I have one for summer. So these could be posted out on your Facebook pages. They could be embedded in your websites. And they also could be sent to parents immediately, like via email. We also have a share option, which is very cool because it can make a QR code for you for parents to apply. And also, if someone calls you and says they're interested in your center, you can always email them a direct link to the enrollment listing. So once a family applies, if I click on any one of these 3 listings, we'll see here it opens up what we refer to as the enrollment funnel. So this is how you'll be managing your applications. So here in the funnel, we have these 5 columns. Every single new applicant will show up in the applied column. So right now I have 2 new applicants here. One cool tool that we have here at Playground with the enrollment funnel is board options. So this basically specifies what you're going to see on these little cards per student. So the nice thing here is, let's say I want to know what plan these students applied for. I can add the plan name, and we'll see here that this little box showed up on each of them, and both of them applied to my full-time program. You can select any of these, like has sibling would show up if they have a sibling in my center, or the documents one will show have they completed all the documents required for enrollment here. So board options is definitely a great tool. These cards can be drag and dropped into any one of the columns. If you drag them into any column other than accepted, it just requires a save like this. And parents are immediately emailed by default anytime a student is moved into any column. So at the very top of every single column here, if you click the three dots, you can either completely turn off automatic emails if you'd like, or you can customize the email here so that you can make sure it says exactly what you want it to say when you move someone to the waitlisted or any of the columns here. The only time that a window will pop up is if you move a student to accepted. So if I drag and drop someone here, we'll see the billing window opens up. And the reason for this is that because students and parents are selecting a plan that they want for whatever they're applying for at your center, you could set up that billing for the future immediately, which just streamlines your entire enrollment process. So as an example, Benny Andrews here applied to the full-time program. And so our system will automatically want to bill him from September through May, the $450 amount that we've set up for the full-time plan. So whenever you move a student into the accepted column, it's a great time to just double check that they're being billed the correct amount and for the right plan and for the correct months. So a part of that customizable piece that we mentioned in the presentation was that, let's say this student gets a sibling discount. When I accept this student, I can immediately add that discount in here as well. So that's some of the customizable. Or let's say this student let me know they're only coming till through April, so they don't need to pay for May. I can immediately just take off the May 1st payment. So extremely customizable with the payments here. Another really nice thing is that I can immediately place this student into a schedule. So let's say Benny here is going into the red group. I can immediately place him into a schedule and into a classroom. So I will save this here, and then I will save again. Anytime I save a student here in the accepted column, they will automatically show up in my students under my school and students here. So if I search, there he is. Because we assume that if you're moving a student into accepted, they should show up on the roster. And then if I were to click in here, the payments are all set for the year. The schedule is set, everything is set up for the year. So it really, really streamlines your process. So that is pretty much managing applications from the enrollment funnel here. I'm going to start off by creating a brand new listing in the center, in my dashboard here, and just walk you through that process and the 4 pages that it takes. If anyone has any questions, feel free to send them in through the chat. So from this enrollment tab, in order to create one of these boxes or listings, you're going to want to click the new listing button in the top right corner, and it will immediately ask you to name the listing. We always recommend that in the listing name, if you're doing like a school year listing, to include the year of the listing here. So I can do the 2023-24 school year. And I will click create. The very first page here is called the center details. So this is going to be everything you would want a newly enrolling or a re-enrolling family to know about your center. So as much information as possible is always best. We do have a couple of required fields that are marked with an asterisk here. So you'll want to definitely fill those in. I'm going to hit the fill it out for me button. So this first center details page, besides for the required information, anything that you leave blank will not show up for parents. So as an example, if I didn't want to put in a philosophy here and I just left this blank, this entire philosophy field will not show up for parents. So center details is great to fill out as much as possible. You can add a couple of cover photos to make that link that we create for you look really nice. The second page here is pricing. So this is where we're going to add in those pricings and groups so that parents can select exactly the program that they want to apply for. So I'll do this. So we like to say that the groups should typically be age groups. And then within each age group, for example, I have the 4-year-olds here. I'll have plan 1 and plan 2. Or a lot of times I'll see the full-time program, the part-time program, or the core program and the extended day program. So those are great options of just different plans and then how they apply to different groups or age groups. Whenever we create a plan, so let's say for the 2-year-olds, actually we'll add in an entire group. Let's add in the infants here. And then within the infants, we can add in a full-time plan. In the description, we could say like Monday through Friday and specific times. And then we will want to put in a price. So let's say 1,000 a month. And you can immediately assign this plan with a schedule. So let's say the blue group here is my infants classroom. I can immediately place that schedule there, and we'll see when I click submit, it will show that schedule here. So it looks like that blue group schedule is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 to 12. So I could actually, I'll remove this description and just have the schedule there. So this is an example of adding in all of the groupings and then also a plan within each group. Groups are not required, but plans are required. So you'll always want to have plans so that parents have something to click on. If you don't want to show pricing up front in this application process, you're definitely welcome to do so. Anytime that you put in a $0 price here, then nothing will show up where you're seeing $1,000 per month on that little box. If I change it to 0, the pricing completely goes away. So if you just want parents up front in the application process to be selecting a specific age group or times that they want to attend, you can add in plans with $0 pricing. The third page of creating the listing is going to be asking for additional fees and then any sort of add-ons that you might have at your center. So additional fees here, one thing to just have a heads up on here, if any additional fee is added, then parents will be required to enter in a credit card in order to submit the application. So again, if any of these additional fees are added, then a parent must add in a credit card when they apply in order to hit submit on the application. This doesn't mean that anything will be charged yet. If I click add new fee, we do have a couple different fee types. So if you select an application fee, this means they will be charged immediately upon clicking submit. That's the only one that will charge immediately. The other two types of fees that we have, an acceptance fee, will only charge once we move a student from that applied column to the accepted column and save them there. And same with the tuition deposit. This will only charge once we move someone from applied to accepted in our enrollment funnel. But for any one of these three, it will ask for the credit card information. Only the application fee will charge it immediately upon submission. So here you're just entering in the charge name, fee amount, and the type. We'll see here in my demo enrollment listing here, I have $100 application fee charged immediately. I have $100 acceptance fee charged once I accept them, and $100 tuition deposit. The way the tuition deposits work are we will charge the $100 once you accept them, and it will go towards the first month of tuition. Awesome. That is the top section here with additional charges. The add-on section here is for any additional optional items that you might offer at your center that is not one of the core options that we had with the plans on the previous page. So a lot of common examples here would be like a lunch program, an aftercare, or a before care program that you have. So the way that we would add these in is by clicking add program. And let's say I have a before care program, and it is from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. So I can add this in. I can show the fee. So we could do flat fee per check-in. We could do an hourly rate or time-based fee or a one-time fee. This is typically what we see here. Here you can enter in the monthly amount or the full amount, and then we could break it up into installments when accepting a student. So let's say my before care is an additional $100 a month. We can add that here. If you are entering a monthly rate, I would just kind of put in the description that it is $100 per month. And then any add-on that you check off here will be available for parents to select. If it is not checked off here, the parents will not see it on this listing. The check-in fee over here, that means only if a student is checked in to this program through either the app or the admin dashboard, that means they will be charged at that time. So a lot of times this is used for like drop-in. So if we have a before care drop-in rate of like $20, only if a student is checked into the before care drop-in will they be charged $20. So I hope that answers the question in the chat. The very last page here is actually creating the questions that you want to ask a newly applying family or re-enrolling family. So if you're familiar with Google Forms, this will be very similar. By default, we require the student's full name and birthday. You're welcome to check off any of these additional fields if you want to ask them in your application. We also require at least one guardian and their information here. After those two questions, you can begin building out your enrollment or application questions by clicking Add Field, selecting the question type, and then basically writing out the question. You'll see here you can mark them required or not. And so basically you're just going down the list of questions that you want to ask a newly enrolling family. At the very bottom, this required documents page is populating from your dashboard's paperwork section. So any document in your paperwork section or file request is going to show up here, and I can check them off. So let's say I just need the media release form to be filled out when a new family is applying. I can check that off, and then I can decide if I want this to be required prior to them hitting submit, which means it should be on, or if I will allow them to fill out this document after submitting the application. So that is there. Another cool option up top here is if you would like, we do have a couple of templates at the very bottom, which will basically build out your questions. So that example is like an emergency contact template, which will look similar to the Guardian one. And as a parent fills this out, it will add the Guardian to the child's account. Once you're finished, you'll want to click Save and Exit, or if you're ready to send this out to the families, you can immediately publish the listing. And here it will provide you with that link. You can also print the QR code from here. So if I copy this link and I just put it in a new tab, I'll show you how this will look. So this is the listing that we just created together on this call. This is the link that a parent would click on and they would see that center details page that you just created. They are going to click apply now right here. And then this is the piece where they will immediately create a playground account where if they don't have one. So the nice thing here is if you're going to use enrollment for re-enrolling students that you already have in playground, it will not duplicate their account as long as the parent clicks I have a playground account already. If they're a brand new family, they'll just use the I have not used playground before. And then the screens will look pretty similar. Let me go here. They're going to look pretty similar to the screens that you use to create this listing. So we'll see those age groupings with the plans in them. And then the parents can just kind of filter through here and click apply now for anyone that they'd like. They'll see those application questions here that they can fill out. That before care add-on, they can add in, and then they can confirm and pay. And once they have done that, they will appear in this listings applied column once they provide the credit card number and hit submit. So that is pretty much everything with enrollment. The last thing I would like to show, just going year over year, or if you've already been using enrollment and you don't want to start from scratch with a new listing, we do have the option to duplicate. So let's say I created my listing for this year's enrollment. Next year, you won't have to go through the process of creating the whole thing from scratch. You can always just duplicate and create next year's, and then we would unpublish this year's so that nobody would be able to apply to the old one. If you want to work on this and come back to it at any point in time, you'll also use those three dots and edit to get back to those screens that we just went through. Awesome. At the very top of the enrollment tab, we do also have the how to get started, watch a video, or join a webinar links. So those should be very helpful if you're brand new to the enrollment tab and just want a quick video on how to use this. So that is everything for enrollment. In regards to settings, the only setting that you'll want to turn on for enrollment is at the very bottom of the general settings tab. And it is right here. If you would like an email notification every time a new applicant enrolls, you would just toggle this on. And then you're going to get an email as well as seeing them in that enrollment funnel anytime a new applicant applies. That is everything for getting started with enrollment through Playground. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
We'll give a couple of seconds to the chat, but that was awesome, Stephanie. Thank you so much for showing us the power of enrollment with Playground. I'm sure this is going to help providers save a lot of time on managing their enrollment flow. So we appreciate all the wonderful hard work you do to make enrollment easier and all the work that our providers do. It seems like no questions are coming in. If anyone has any questions, Stephanie, how can they reach you?
Yeah, so down here in the bottom left, we do have the immediate live chat support right here. Send us a message, or feel free to email me directly, just Stephanie@tryplayground.com. STEPHANIE.
We have quick support, and yeah, we're really available anytime anyone needs help. Thank you everybody for joining, and we will see you tomorrow for our final part of the back to school boot camp, where we'll be discussing billing and all your billing best practices for childcare. So we'll see you tomorrow, and thank you for joining. Thank you, Steph.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.